Chafing Armor Podcast, episode 41. Dessert is served. Welcome back to the Chafing Armor Podcast. I'm your host, and wearing a lovely Hyrule hoodie, Michael Corley. And with me today is our special guest, Nutty. Nutty, tell everyone who you are playing.
I am playing Grimhilda. She is investigating these goings-ons with the drows and the lofts.
Indeed she is, and making very good progress with the help of these companions. We have Lee. Lee, tell everyone who you are playing.
G'day everyone, I'm Lee. I'm playing Osakai, the Shifter Ranger from the Eldeen Reaches, who is very upset with ticks.
Yep, they're having a little bit of a tiff right now. And speaking of ticks, we also have Dare. Dare, tell everyone who you are playing.
Evening, everyone. My name is Dare, and I am playing Tix Birchmanson, a cleric and bear handler at the moment.
We'll see how well he does handling this particular bear. And last but not least, we also have James. James, tell everyone who you are playing.
Hello! I am playing the lovely, the beautiful, the talented Penton Shellis, spell scale sorcerer.
And beautiful indeed. And very interestingly, he discovered that there are actually drow who are not quite spell scale sorcerers, but they nevertheless have dragon blood and have scale-like skin. He discovered that they are a subspecies, if you will, of the drow called the Jazred Chauzen, and two of them had a contract on y'all's life, and specifically to recover the Staff of Seraphim. But through a various and a very good use of rope, and also from the assistance of the investigator Grimhilda, played by Nutty, you were able to stop them and actually come to an accord without killing them, though it did nearly result in one of them taking a drink in the nearby bay. We actually cut forward about an hour. It is now getting close to 11 o'clock at night. The moon is high. It is dark. You are neither on the outskirts of the city, nor are you in the center of the city. If you think about where a rich part of town is, the rich part of town is not usually in the very center of the city, and it's not in the boonies, but it's set slightly off to the side, where it's set away from the dregs of humanity. And that is where the stronghold of the Banerites is, of which the shipping magnate, Loft, not to be confused with the dark goddess of the drow, Loft, is. And he is not there right now because he's recovering from poisoning, which Tix saved him from. You have it on good authority that something very important is going to happen inside tonight. But you also know that there's kind of a party going on tonight, and that you need to find a way to get inside and find a secret room. So, you are outside. It is heavily wooded. There is a long iron gate. A long iron fence that runs along the perimeter, and you can see a single guard standing at the gate. And y'all are out of sight in the wooded area right now on the other side. What would y'all like to do?
Well, we have an invitation to the party.
That is true. It is not specified on there how many it's for, or who it's for. You don't know if, it would be immediately obvious that you do not belong here, or if you'd immediately be ushered in. You simply don't have enough information to know that.
Do we see other guests arriving and getting checked by this guard?
If you are willing to wait for a while, you do eventually see a guest come rolling up. You suspect that most of the guests have already arrived because it's later in the evening, but one of them actually does. They come up in a carriage, and you do see the invitation held out, And the guard looks at it, and he opens the gate, and they head in. It is a good quarter of a mile from where you are to the actual estate. There's like this enormous tract of land that's closed in by this gate.
How did the guests look?
You couldn't see them very well, but they appeared to be dressed in. It appeared to be a human female, and it appeared to be dressed in, evening wear.
Okay. So, Bear Boy. I assume Osric has told me his name by now, right?
If you like, did you tell her who you are, Osakai?
I mean, she knows. I assume she knows who I.
Oh, Osakai, sorry. Osakai, you turned into bear before. Can you turn into anything?
Oh, good question.
Where is Zuana?
That is an excellent question, and we have not gotten into exactly what happened during that meeting where you and Zuana met with several drow in there. But in short, Zuana came to an accord with a few of these drow, and she went off with them in order to find out some more information. She basically went on a investigation mission where you believed that she was at least relatively safe as anyone can be with a group of drow. I will point out to you, since you now have this distinction in your mind, the ones that you all met did not have the dragon scale skin.
Yes. Okay. So Osakai will look at Grimhilda and say, well, I was told that I could look sort of like anything I wanted. I haven't really tried. We might as well try now when we've got the chance.
Well,
You mind if I take a look at that?
Osakai is reticent to hand over the hat.
I'm not going to take it from you, I promise.
That Zuana so kindly left with him. Especially given he knows Zuana's true.
Now, don't be a flipperty gibbet. I just want to see how it works.
No.
I'm thinking you look like one of party people. They let you in with invitation. Very easy. Maybe we'll walk around, see another entrance. Some of us, we sneak in. I mean, it'd be very easy for me to sneak into this place. And you just let us in.
Or he dresses up finer than he's ever been used to, using his little magic hat. And the rest of us accompany him as his escort.
Retinue?
Yes,
They're
retinue
servants,
would be
whatever. Yeah, entourage. That works. Do you think, like, gnomes are normally let into parties like this, or should you, like, hide under my skirts? It's
Don't
very
let him
nice
do
down
that. He gets very handsy. Don't worry about it.
there. That's okay. My
Bear Boy.
chastity belt has teeth.
It's alright,
I
you're a
will
gnome.
go as
You're not a
the
dwarf, he's not
cleric that
interested.
I am.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Lee,
I
is
said-
Osakai going to
I think
cooperate?
she-
I said, I'm sorry. I said, you're not a dwarf, he's not interested.
And could I do a perception check to see if Duncan will show up or has shown up at the party as Loft's business partner?
Unfortunately, I mean, you certainly could do that, but there's unless it had been the last person that came, which it was not. There's no way for you to know because there's the actual complex is a quarter of a mile away, and
Okay.
there's no evidence of her here.
Loft is recovering from being poisoned. He's not actually in there, right?
Oh no, he is unconscious, recovering along with the snoring Morezi back at his office, which is close to the shipping area.
So just be
this
Loft.
is over in the rich part of town.
So just be Loft.
Or just be somebody. Just put the hat on and see how it works.
Yeah.
Osakai being who he is would know how Loft smells, looks pretty intimately.
Yeah.
Given we spent weeks with him on a boat.
Months.
Yes.
A lot of months
Yeah,
with
I
him on a boat. Lots of time. So he'd know his mannerisms, everything, just from being around him for so long. So yeah, I think he could probably make a convincing Loft.
You just wouldn't sound like him, that's all.
Exactly.
Just be your usual sarcastic self and we'll do fine.
I think I can manage that. I think it might be better if we take one person in as my assistant with the express idea that perhaps this person can explain that I am unable to speak, and That way there's not a whole bunch of people rolling up to the door. Then we can let the rest in through the back.
You might want to let me take that job.
Yes, I'm not agreeing with that. The ragged sorcerer or the respectable cleric explaining why their boss cannot talk.
Who's the better talker?
You're in rags, boy. You're in rags.
I enjoy my rags.
Who's to say?
Will never associate willingly with somebody in rags.
I suppose you're right.
I'm thinking he wouldn't bring them to a party either.
Well,
So as
all
the
those
healer-
all those magic users are eccentric,
Anyway,
Bear Boy
Osukai,
and I will make our way up to the party, and the rest of
Okay.
you will have to find another way in.
Osukai will put on the hat and concentrate on everything he knows about Loft. And what happens?
It is everyone else. It is uncanny. He looks exactly like Loft, right down to the scowl on his face, his sallow cheeks. Remember, Loft basically looks like your garden variety version of that. He looks like Ebenezer Scrooge. So he's just this tall, thin, dour-looking businessman.
Well, humbug.
and
that works more
you-
than sorta.
And you notice that the only thing that you all didn't notice is that the hat that he's wearing is not one that you normally saw with him, but it is absolutely consistent with ones that he wore, and you suspect that is some element of the magic.
Tix slowly walks around Osokai and is very impressed by the similarity.
Mm-hmm. It is very powerful magic. You really, it's amazing because, you want to smack both of them. And so, it's an incredible combination.
Yeah.
All right, Bear Boy, we better get to your party.
I love how I've given you a new nickname.
Osukai leans down and, you know what? Let's try this. With an intimidating growl, says,
Call me Bear Boy one more time, and you will be shorter than you already are.
Ooh! 27.
Seriously?
Okay.
Yes,
you
seriously.
Natural one.
wanna-
Cow.
Oh no, he pits himself.
You do not piss yourself, Tix, but there is a moment where it's so unsettling that this face of Loft, that is this, miserly old man, looks down at you, and then you hear this deep bass profundo voice of Osokai just saying, "One more time," and you kind of take a little step back and just back off for a moment.
Fine, Osokai. Let's go.
Okay.
And looking very dejected and upset at that, I start double timing it up the hill.
Okay. Y'all make it up to the hill. You come around the hill, and you see the guard, who y'all couldn't see very well before. And it is a child. Like, not really, but like, he has got to be 19 years old. His armor does not fit well. He has buck teeth. He has like straw, like blonde hair that's sticking out underneath a ill-fitting helmet. And he's got a pike that he's sort of, like inexpertly holding. And you don't know like whose nephew got assigned this job, but he looks up and he goes, Oh, hello, Mr. And he like literally forgets the name. He goes, Mr. Bainwright? Is something wrong, sir? Where is your carriage?
Tix answers and goes, Your Lord Bainwright has contracted a little virus, and I brought him back from the city, and we are late for the party, so make way.
Oh my goodness! He's ill? Then should he be walking?
His voice is gone, not his legs. Open the gate.
Make a intimidation check.
Well, I've rolled 2 1s so far tonight. Let's see if I can get a third one.
Please don't.
That's a 15.
15. He goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. There's the right way, sir." And he fumbles with the latch, and he like drops the key and picks it up and drops it again. And finally he gets it in, and the door, the gate just creaks open, and he, does like a subservient bow, and he goes, right this way, sir, please.
Come this way, my lord. Indicating that Tix should go through the gate.
Osukai there will, knowing what Loft was like on the ship, give a very pointed stare at the bumbling buffoon guarding the gate, and then turn around and walk straight through the gate.
Okay. And you wonder if he maybe does piss himself a little bit. He's just utterly cowed by this and just, in shock. Y'all immediately get in. So that leaves y'all two outside. How would y'all like to get in?
I suggest we walk the perimeter, look for like a back gate or something. Any lock that's there, I'm pretty sure I can.
Okay, well, I hope you can.
All right.
You walk for a while, and sure enough, you do find a side gate, and it is padlocked.
All right. I am going to attempt to open this lock, and I have that skill pretty well done. Where did I find that? There it is. It's plus 11.
Jeez.
So that's 23. Oh, sorry, 24.
24. Yeah, you come up, and even in just by moonlight, you pick out your lock picking kit, and you literally just make 2 quick turns. You listen, you pause, and then bing, and it just springs open, and your other hand just reaches out and catches it even before it can hit the ground and make any noise, and the gate just slides silently open.
I look back to my friend and I just give him a wink.
Nice.
That's how that's done. It's so rare I have an audience.
That is true. This is usually done all by yourself. And so y'all easily make your way in. Is there, did y'all have any way where y'all were going to meet up with each other?
I think we were going to just try to find each other. We were both going to head towards the storeroom and look for, and then I guess we'll start looking for the hidden room there.
Yeah, plus we still have the invitation, so if anybody confronts us.
Oh, that's true.
Yep, that is true. And so y'all make your way towards just so you get an idea. The stronghold. This is like a keep.
Yeah.
So it's less than a castle, but it is fortified and it is big. There are several like side buildings, like a stable, a dedicated area where like the more intensive cooking is actually done. But then there is the actual keep itself. This is where, like an adventurer who had amassed a great deal of money might build a keep like this, or someone who simply has a great deal of money, like a minor lord, like the Bainwrights, which seems to be the case here. And you would suspect that the hidden room would be in the main building, not in one of these side buildings, though, it is possible.
It's possible.
It did not specify.
Yeah, we got no kind of hints at all.
No, the message assumed that the person reading it would know what that meant.
Right.
All right.
Well, we better find it before anybody else wants to look it up.
Yeah. Let's head to this main building. It's probably in there, or
Best.
very likely.
Good guess.
Back to Loft and his companion.
I'm sorry, just to interrupt. By the way, I do want to establish that in that hour in between, Grimhilda did say that what she required was evidence of Loft, all of these going-ons with Loft. Hearsay is not enough. She needs actual proof. And I assume that everybody's like, yeah, we'll help you get that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, you did establish that while y'all were making your way here, that it is that is specifically part of your contract, that your two interests align. But at the end of the day,
I need my
do
proof.
you need actual physical evidence that you can turn in to fulfill your contract.
And there's no, videotape spell,
Mm-hmm. Not yet.
And wearing a wire. What's the wire gonna do? I'm gonna cut your throat.
It's literally just a little piece of bent wire. It's not helping that much.
No.
So I did want to check, though, our disguise Loft and Tix, are y'all just walking? Because you can just walk straight up to the entrance, but that also, means you're going to encounter other people.
I mean, there's no reason why Bainwright wouldn't do that, though. It's his house.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So-
No, you absolutely can. I'm just checking before I assume that you do that.
I'll confer with Tix and say that perhaps when we go in, that Tix makes it known to everybody that tries to talk to Lord Bainwright that he is not feeling very well and would like to retire to his chambers, but everyone should enjoy the party, or however Lord Bainwright would say that.
Can we do a history check and see if he has any family here at the estate that would want to talk to him after visiting with him for 3 or 4 months on the boat,
That's a point, yeah.
on the piss whistle?
Yeah, on the good ship Piss Whistle, which I will ever refer to it as now, and that's the only reason, because y'all are not from this area, but having spent several months on the boat, you would have a chance that you heard something that you...
All right, here goes the roll. And that is a 16.
16? Okay. What you know is that he does not have any direct descendants. He is not married, but he does have relations. Particularly, he has a brother, and his brother, though he is a widower, has 2 children, 2 nephews. And as far as you know, they all live at this complex. And there may be other people there, but they would be the, next in charge, as it were.
Do we have names?
Lofts. Yes. His brother is named Cass, and his nephew, he has 2 nephews. Sorry, I'm looking up my notes.
One of them is
Darrow.
What's that?
Darrow and Caro.
Yes, yeah, they're all Aaron and O.
Just trying to help you generate names.
Yes. Yes, I should have just hit a random name generator, but no, I did write these down somewhere. I just didn't write them down here. So the brother's name is Cass. He's his younger brother, because, Loft is up in years. He's significantly younger. And his 2 nephews are Bunter and Tez. This is all human.
Osakai would like to roll, do he has a geography check, mostly to kind of, perhaps the knowing what the ground is like. Perhaps there's if it's not conducive to having a basement or anything else like that, so that we can. I mean, it isn't a castle or a keep, but some places are not conducive to having basements, and like Australia, for example. Just some sort of clue about where we might be able to narrow down the search for this secret room, whether it be above ground or below ground. That is a 14 on the die, plus my knowledge check of geography, 17.
17? You take a moment and you run your fingers across some stone that's near the dirt, and you realize that this stone is actually limestone. And you know from experience, from some of the areas that you covered, that limestone is very conducive to underground caves. And so while you don't know that, there's no reason to tell you that it absolutely would be in a cave, but if you were building an underground entrance or an underground layer by this keep, you would probably look for a cave to put it in.
I'll let Tix know that.
All right, Lord Loft, let's go find the basement. We'll go in. I will make the announcement about his laryngitis, and we will go to get him a hot toddy in the kitchen to ease his sore throat, and maybe find the way down into the basement.
And we'll open the back door for our friends.
Okay. So you open the door is opened for you, I should say, to a butler type person, a very, very formal gentleman, and he says, "My lord, Loft Bainwright, and guest." And there's kind of like a soft music playing, and it dies just a little bit, and there's a sort of a soiree happening in the main hall, and people turn to look at you. You deliver this information. Tix, would you give me a persuasion roll?
Sure. The dice have not been nice so far, so. But that is a 21.
21. So you hear you deliver it with such sincerity, and of course, as a cleric, people understand that you're talking about his health, and there's you even deliver it in such a way that there's like a collective "aww," because you do such a good job. And one of the nephews, the younger one, Tez, who seems like a decent fellow, of course you can't really tell, comes up and just says, "Loft, old man, I certainly hope you're doing better. You take care of yourself, and we'll take care of things here." And waves to you and sends you on your way, and y'all are able to get right through without any problem.
Do we get the sense that the crowd is happy that he is not mingling among them?
It's hard to tell, because these are people who are used to being nice to people they hate. But literally, that's what they do. They're probably happy that he's leaving and that they don't have to, stop what they're doing to talk to him.
So Tix makes a beeline for the kitchen, and to find the back door to unlock it.
Okay.
While Osakai looks for stairs downwards.
Okay. Osakai, would you make an investigation roll for me?
Okay, I do have dungeoneering.
Oh, yes. Well, then you certainly may use that.
Okay. 19.
19? So you begin surreptitiously. Oh my goodness! You begin
surreptitiously.
Yes, you begin surreptitiously. I can't say that word today. I'm actually unbelievably tired right now, and I apologize. But we'll push forward. You are making your way through the different areas, and you stop. And you kind of lean your head back, and you realize there's a room that has a really strong nautical theme. And like your just sense is tingling, and you come back in there. And I'll get back to that in just a second. But Tix, you make your way across the kitchen, and there's just delicious smells coming through the kitchen as servants are coming in and out and bringing, different treats. And there's not a formal dinner. It's just that they're bringing trays of food out. And you unlock the door, and you find that there are two people waiting for you there.
Hello.
Benton, Grimhilda, come on in and grab a piece of bread. We're getting ready to head down to the basement.
Yeah, what took you so long? Goodness, hobnobbing with these rich folks, I bet.
Well, I'm trying to step up in the world, I'm sure.
Everything in the world is a step up to Tix.
Oh.
All these goofy guys.
And so y'all make your way through down toward the area that you last saw the figure that appears to be Loft, and you all come into a room that's sort of like a study. There's some books, but it's basically where a rich person would go to do their correspondence and sit and read and that sort of thing. But there's just tons of nautical themed things in there, and you get a feeling that something is off about this room.
Osuke is going to use his sailing check to find if there is something in this room that doesn't fit with the knowledge he gained from his special bond with Jackson.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a knowledge roll, and I believe you have a +1.
So that's an 18 on the die. Knowledge sailing a 4, so that's a 22. +1, 23.
You immediately just get this flash from your knowledge that you gained from the captain, and you look over, and it's just you almost laugh to yourself, and the laugh that comes out, it doesn't really come out, but it almost comes out as her laugh. You wonder about exactly what all of this means, but what you see is that one of the riggings that is against the wall that's been like decoratively put there, you realize no sailor would ever do a knot like that. That is not a sheet bend. That is just an overhand knot, and that's ridiculous. And that was not made by a sailor. And when you go over to it, you grab hold and give it just one little pull, and immediately you just hear this click, and the study opens, and a door leads downwards.
Loft, since you are the man of the house, why don't you lead us on downstairs?
I feel like Tix has forgotten this as Osuke.
No, he's just wanting Loft to put himself as a meat shield.
I think he's still intimidated by Loft.
Just a little.
Given this is Osuke, he's more than happy to do so anyway. So I will head on down.
Go down it's a circular set of stairs. You actually feel it's somewhat reminiscent to the stairs that you went down instead of going through the weird shifting ceiling when you faced that Zorn so long ago. But these are much, much wider. That was like really, really cramped. These are much, much wider. And you make your way down quite a few, what would essentially be flights. And as you make your way down, there is actually a stone door that would need to be opened to go further.
The last time Tix was near a stone door, it fell on him. So he's going to jump back about 10 feet and say, "After you, my lord."
Can I take a look at that door first? Just want to investigate it just a little bit.
Give me a roll on that investigation.
All right. Oh, that's pretty good. All right. I have an investigation ad, so thought I did. I have gather information, knowledge, but not investigate. Dang it. Well, I have investigator.
Yes. Well, what I said before is that you basically can make 2 rolls.
Okay, let me see which one was better. Oh, I like the 17 better. Okay. Do I add any modifiers or?
Not for this one, since you're using that. It's just an advantage. But what you see is it's not that the door is trapped per se, but that it is enchanted. The door is enchanted. You don't know exactly what that enchanted is, but you could see that there are certain runes etched into it at certain key intervals, and you're not quite sure what would happen if you were to try to unlock that door.
Can I decipher those runes? Because I have decipher script.
Yes, you do. Go ahead and make that roll.
25.
25.
I'm like, I only rolled an 11. Oh, wait.
It is very, very dark in here. It would be very helpful, as you are human, if you had a little more light. I don't know if anyone could help her in that regard.
I could.
A little light, please.
Suddenly,
sure.
Describe to her what happens when you do that.
I just I close my eyes and I just start to have this like nimbus of light that just kind of glows around me, just to make me a little more awesome than I already am.
Well,
and it's basically equivalent to like dim torchlight.
That's not something you see every day.
I see it all the time.
Does that happen at will, or?
Oh yeah, I can do it whenever I like.
Does it happen involuntary sometimes? Is this something I need to be aware of?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It helps me move things along with people.
This is moving things along. Okay, so let me check out these runes here. Hang on. Oh, well, that's one a little. I remember that one. Okay, so.
So these runes are based in Elven, and you speak Elven.
I do.
And they're very esoteric, though. They're for magic, so that's why you don't just know them. They're not Elven script, but they're based in Elven. But you recognize that this is a spell, and this is a spell of passage. This spell is telling you that a certain word or phrase needs to be said in order to safely open this door. And go ahead.
What was going to say? Would an Arcana check help this along at all?
Yeah, you can roll that.
All right.
So as I'm figuring this out, I'm like, there's a word or a phrase that will open this door.
That's a 21 on that.
You are looking through this, and you're looking at the different etchings on it, and it's very unusual because one, it's telling you. There's nothing mysterious about this. It's just telling you to say a word. It's telling you to say friend and enter kind of thing.
Right.
But here's the thing. It's telling you to say the word wrong. It's telling you to say the word, but to pronounce it incorrectly on purpose. It's a little bit like, the other side of the medallion telling you to reduce a few feet from the staff in honor of God, like from the original Indiana Jones.
Right.
And so it's a really odd thing, but it's actually telling you to speak a word in Elven, but to purposely mispronounce it.
Does it say what the word is?
It does.
Ah.
It says to speak failure, but it has inflections on it where it will actually be mispronounced.
Okay. I'm not good with Elven. Can you speak Elven?
I can.
Okay. Well, it's basically saying to mispronounce the word failure somehow.
Oh, then maybe you should do it.
Well, I don't know how this the pronunciation works with the runes, so maybe you can figure that part out.
I mean, does anyone remember that Ozukai speaks Elven?
Probably not.
Obviously not. He's never spoken it, but yes.
Yeah, you never talk, so.
We've never encountered any elves that I could talk to.
True that.
But I can read and write and speak Elven.
Well, between the two of you, I'm sure you can figure this out then.
Tix taps his foot.
Sorry, I was actually just looking up to see if I could find what the Elven word for failure is, because I know that there's so many things out there on the internet, and that would just be awesome.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. I was not requiring that of you.
No, but it would have been cool. But unfortunately, it's not an easy one. All right, so failure. They spoken badly. Strange. My accent is perfect, so let's see. Let me say this like I was some big dog who looked down on the elves. Okay. And she throws it out like failure, but it's so bad that it could be misinterpreted as a different word.
Mm-hmm. And it comes out really odd. It comes out, instead of failure, it comes out like you think of, like Hermione Granger saying Wingardium,
Yeah. Failed her.
Like, exactly. It's like faluser.
Faldahar.
And there's this moment of pause where y'all like, that can't be right. But then and the door slides silently open.
Do you realize this spell is kind of like a pun or a joke? The word is failure. I have to fail to say it. That's funny.
It's like a double failure.
Yeah, that's what. So double failures, does that make a pass? I think that's the joke.
You wouldn't think that someone like Loft would have a sense of humor, but
I don't think he made this.
Yeah,
it doesn't really seem like his speed.
I think Loft has tabs on himself that he never fails. So doing this is that reminder to himself that, even when he fails, he wins.
That could be. That absolutely could be.
All right.
You all open the door and you make your way inside, and you see an opening before you, and you see a large open area where there is I'm just gonna say this real quick. There's a relatively narrow area where you've come in. Then it opens up into a huge circular area. At the bottom of that area is a stone ring. And in that stone ring is a churning blackness. And as you look at the churning blackness, everyone except Grimhilda recognizes a baleful blue glow begin to appear in a key part of that. You also see nearby several figures dressed in dark robes, and they are ushering Drow towards the pit. And it would appear that they are about to be sacrificed to this dark mass.
Are they glittery Drow?
I'm sorry?
Are they glittery Drow?
Drow?
They are absolutely glittering Drow. And that's where we'll end Chafing Armor, episode 41. Oh boy. I didn't quite know where this was going to reach a natural stopping point, but y'all got to it both faster and slower than I thought, and I think that's a good place to stop it. Nutty, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And
Hey,
we'll
Nutty.
hopefully even perhaps have you back to wrap this storyline up. One more time, just real quick, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me and the Nutty Bites podcast at nimlas.org, NIMLAS.org.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone else for playing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will roll with you soon.